had a little bit of a break. See whether or not they are going to be in the position to actually get this one started. I think it was relatively close. It was, what, 16-13? It feels like an age ago when we actually watched that map earlier today. Where is it? 100. 16-13, yeah. And it was actually Little who had a very quiet performance in that matchup. 15-18, 65.9 ADR. Not really too much impact. Struggling to get going with the AWP. And yeah, as said, 27-16, we saw Flourish and Smike. Kenzel was there as well, but the thing with him is he's actually improved throughout the day. I think as we've gone on, Kenzel has actually become probably the best player on this team.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely argue between him or Smike, both of them really pulling their own weight and doing phenomenally well. Flaric stepping up in that last map as well, being like a much needed player to step up. We saw earlier when they did lose, it was largely because he fell completely silent. So it was a welcome change to see him back on the scoreboard. Should be going live any second now. Just been told 30 seconds till we're all good. So going to be getting straight into this, the last map of the night. The winner, they'll be going to the semi-finals tomorrow, and the loser, while they are gone, their chances of qualifying for the major in any capacity are out the window.
It's a very long way to go, of course. Like they've still got to go through the qualifier itself, and I see, although I'd love to see one of these teams make it through, I'm still just in that
to the major, or
yeah, I'd love to see one of them get it through to the major, like to at least show that there is still some other talent other than the other teams we already see in the CIS, because it is pretty much reliant on the sort of the Gambits. We see Na'Vi, of course, and Flipside, who recently have fallen off. I think they're still in the qualifier, but whether they'll get out or not, that's another thing altogether. The one thing with Flipside, though, is they always qualify. No matter what state they're in at the time, they always seem to make it through to the major. And I'm definitely going to be interested to see what they've been doing in the meantime, because the one thing about Flipside, it was a case for Gambit as well. At a point, never really saw them at any other events. They would just sort of appear and just sort of turn up for the major and just be like, hey guys, yep, we're still around, get themselves through, and then maybe cause an upset or two along the way. Even getting their legendary status at one point as well. So I would love to see like a team that would challenge those. And the problem is, at least for the CIS Minor recently, is because those teams have been keeping their legendary status and not falling down into the sort of minor situation. You look at the sort of qualifier for EU, and it's so stacked with just all these talented teams. But you look at sort of the CIS one and you think, okay, maybe they shouldn't be getting 2 spots. Maybe they shouldn't have the sort of chance to get through more than these other teams. Obviously, they still have to get through the qualifier. I think Vega, though, Vega were one that obviously caught, well, pretty much starting the downfall of NIP, or at least continuing it onwards with that destruction and elimination of them from the last. Looking strong to go through again, but one of these teams will actually be going on to face the Vega Squadron. It's either going to be a pro100, or do you want to try the new pronunciation that we've been told? I've already forgotten what it was.
Yeah, me too. Oh well, it's all good. We take all your criticism on board, and now we're just going to stick. We're going to stick with pro100 today. We might change it tomorrow for this, but just for the sake of consistency.
Yeah,
and already. Right. Look at Smike go. I mean, just finding the opening frag over him. Going to be somewhat left to fend for himself. They're just trying to hold these guys back, but he's doing a damn good job at it. Goes ahead and takes all 3, and this is where the round is already almost looking like it's out the window. Propler and Kabakin left to try. And oh, okay, mate, that just Kabakin is now suddenly falls on him to refrag this one out. Flaric going to be tagged down low, but doesn't have to take this peek. And Kabakin, lots of work left to do, just being pincered from all these different angles, trying to make something happen, but in the 1v4, oh, that's the spray from
he shoots the chicken
Flaric.
And then puts GG on the wall. Baiting them out a little bit though. Get back and trying to get them to move back over towards that A side a little bit. It has worked. Crush, one of the healthier players, has made his move. 40 seconds left on the clock. The problem is going down drop. Gonna give away a huge sound cue as to where he currently sits. Lovely shot. Death goes down. If he can get Crush, then this is more than doable, but it's not gonna happen. The dream is dead. Pro100 will get the pistol. I'm actually curious. I hate when I forget things. What was it? It was something to do with magicians.
Prosto, or something like that.
Presto.
Or prosto, or prost. I think it's prosto. Is how you I don't know. Apparently, you basically say 100 in Russian, but I'm not 100% sure if that's even true. But that's just what we were told by a couple of different people now, which makes me think it could be. But then agreeing with the masses never seems like a good idea anyway.
Either that, or you're all just colluding together to lie to us to make us look like fools, and we don't know what we've just said. So pro100 sounds safer.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be saying anything on the stream. He's looking to take that control over long. It's again. A little bit of support for Def in the form of Smike. Bestman is in this round from the T side. He got one flashbang to make any sort of move, and the bomb still sat over towards the B side of the map. I see a rotation from a couple of players. They've set up Jerry on the flank. He has been someone to do a lot of damage, been one of the pinnacle players to step up with little in a lot of these rounds. However, they are going to head down drop. Flourish will be gaining all of the sound cues the second they move. Only got 35 seconds left to move. They're going to have to make it now.
Yeah, barreling in towards B as they just get cut down on the entries already. Face crack going to be eliminated, and they're looking to try and double back round over towards A. This is going to leave them with hardly any time. They lose Jerry anyway, and now they try and make their way back. Oh, it's all gone so wrong. There's so little time left. They have to get into the site. They have to get this bomb down. If they're delayed for even a couple of seconds, then this won't work. But Kabakin might be the man to make it possible. Finds both the frags necessary. Little somehow turns it around. And what the hell's gone on in this round? Suddenly it's all on Def. 1 versus 3. A round that never should have been. And Spartak finishes it off. Kabakin in with a monster 4K, single-handedly pulling them through that one. And I don't know, Tom. I don't know.
That was just ridiculous. Just able to just yo-yo themselves back. Just keep switching. And just from Jerry's positioning, they expected A to be clear. And then from Kabakin's kill, they switch back. And somehow he's managed to just drag them through that round. So worked a little bit. Smike's going to hear a lot of footsteps coming his way. It's UMPs galore. Little even buying one up with the rest of the team in this scenario. Well, he may have saved that from the previous round, which could be something different. Yeah, he did. So he hasn't bought. Never mind. The dream is dead. Flourish spamming away with the Deke. Actually gets a second as well as he fades away. Jerry's going to go down. The headshot through the door. Maybe they're looking to return, as we just saw previously. Doesn't have any armor. The rest of the team do. Rotation is coming in from Def, but it's very, very slow. Bomb in the meantime is going to be going down. Flourish looking to do more with this Deagle. Almost hits Kabakin as he uncrouches. Has to be careful. Not really the best position to challenge versus that Deagle. There is actually a kit on Def as well, but that's going to be dropped in middle. And that should signal the end of this round unless some real magic can happen. Not going to be the case. Flourish has already expended all his special powers for this round. We'll have to fall back towards B.
Yeah, it's the time we have to make a decision. Are we going to say pro100? Because I just feel wrong if that isn't what it's meant to be. If it is the other one, do we think it's prosto or prosto? I think it's prosto, right? That makes sense. Like, hey, prosto. It kind of sounds like a broken hey, presto.
I'm just saying pro100 until
I'm gonna say
officially told.
I'm going to say prosto.
Because why not? Ukrainians with the Latvian.
I will try to appease the masses and
or just
yes,
just remove the last bit altogether, and then we're not wrong at all.
But we are if they lose this, because then they won't be pro, Tom.
Yeah, no, I got it. It was just so bad that I didn't give you any.
Yeah, well, anyways, Spartak, they're going to be sending a lot of people over towards mid. 4 players here with a lone player over towards B, and that's going to be Little. Next, you'll be telling me it's pronounced Lytel. As making their way out through mid. Lots of aggression on these guys. Not going to fall prey to these pistols. At least you'd hope not. But saying that, Smike does execute one. Jerry going to go down. He's been having a hard time of it in the beginning of these rounds. Flaric pushing out through the fire and flames, as is Def. And Flaric with a D. He's just a monster that they physically can't tame. Saying that, face crack does rise to the occasion and takes him down. But Def just sprinting around long. He is working. He's going to go down. And well, Kenzo and Crush 2v3. I should have said that Def is Def, but kind of missed the opportunity, and now it's in the past. Kenzel, speaking of being in the past, going to be buried in the grave as Kabakan picks himself up 4 huge frags once again. 8 kills across 3 rounds, which has single-handedly cemented his team here with 3-1 in the advantage.
Hey, he's got a silly amount of money as well. Still 7,000 after the buy. Little going to be with the AWP as well. And now, finally, we have a buyback on both teams, but Smike yet to get his AWP, which can be a big factor in these sort of rounds. Little just going to hold passively as teammates look to push those long positions. A lot of players currently around this sort of B position at the moment, and Smike, hearing all of the footsteps, will call for at least one player to rotate in. Def there to support. So far, at least, it is looking like definite a hit as the majority of players make their way through, clearing angles, leaving positions. Going to be Def and Smike probably alone. There's not really any chance for a quick rotation as they're heading further over towards B.
Back to find the first. Smike doing all he can to try and pull things back, but he doesn't stay alive long. The rotate coming in thick and fast from Crush, who is going to be in the site, but roasted out into the open. He falls. Flaric and Kenzel make that just Flaric as his comrade does die. Now in the 1v3. Bomb going to be going down. They have the crossfire set up. Player down in mid in the form of Little, watching the potential push coming in, and Flaric has to first deal with these players in the site. And as he makes his way around Swamp, probably going to be looking like to be the first man he runs into. Let's push him back through long. It's going to be face crack with where the bomb's planted. There should be no way he can get away with this. And he's fairly aware of that. Looking to try and do damage, I think, but he's actually sneaking on by. Flaric going to go for the cheeky knife. Lets them run away. And now he's going to try and go for the defuse. Fantastic stuff. Doesn't go for the knife. Instead, just going to go and stick it. And this would be terrible. No. Face crack, please. No, not like this. Flaric.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no. The man, the myth, the legend. He goes and does it. I thought he was going to go for the knife with how long he was taking, and then he just instead plays the calculated play, lets them believe that site's clear, sneaks all the way up on by, and then gets the well, not ninja, but
smoke defuse.
Fantastic stuff. Yes, smoke defuse from him. Arguably, I mean, I think that was better than any ninja.
What even defines a ninja anymore? I'm so confused of what that has to be. Do they have to not be there at all? I don't know. Either way, wonderful stuff from Flaric, giving them that extra bonus, but now they have to hold on to the site. Face crack is straight out, pushing in, doing damage, taking heads, and he's already cleaned up this site. It doesn't matter the heroics of the previous round, as every single person on B falls in a matter of seconds. Def and Smike, they're going to go and hide in the tower. Will be able to take down Kabakan as they look to fall away. 3 very low players currently sit on the T side, looking to try and upgrade the FAMAS into an AK, which they will do. It looks like the remaining T's, bar Little, will be sitting back.
I mean, Spartak will be getting themselves a 4th round, though. A very dominant start here to their T side. Winning one straight back as well. Going to leave ProStorm on the economic back foot. As they do keep 2 players up, but it's not enough really to justify forcing behind. That said, the players Crush and Flaric with so little money can't afford to buy into the next round regardless. So looks like we will be seeing a force coming in from the CT side. Means they're going to have a less than ideal situation. The only downside about forcing like this out of necessity is if they don't pick this up, not only was this round, you'd imagine, significantly easier given the caliber of buy they've got, then they have to eco the next, and then they can finally get a buy together. So it's effectively almost a 2 rounds for free.
Aggressive push coming out from the AK. Unable to find anything, a Quebec and straight through the smoke will find the first kill of the round. They're looking to continue. FaceCrack did wonders in the previous. Can't quite find the place all around this smoke, though. Flaric gets one. A second for him as well. Will be eventually traded out, but that blunder by FaceCrack could have just opened things up for this CT side. Smike still with a rifle in hand. Crush making it possible, but FaceCrack rectifies. And he will get himself another kill. And while, as you said, no money this time. Not really anything the pro can do. Gonna have to save.
Come on, Tom, join in. Prosto. Just say it.
No.
Alright then. Well, we are going to be seeing 4 players for Prosto over here towards the A bomb side. They leave Flaric alone over in B, and 3 players here for Spartak early on. Stacked on up, ready to push at that moment's notice. And Crush looking like he might want to go aggressive out through long, would be punished almost immediately if he decided to do so. At least you'd hope so. He's going to get a long way out. Now peeking on through is going to be tagged away and just forced to fall back. Now the peek comes out from middle. Kenzel, the first man to fall. Smike trying to do what he can, but the USP going to go down as well as Jerry pads those stats. Pushing in towards B. Flaric will be dropped on the entry. It all falls onto Def. Is 1v5. Trapped inside the B bomb site. Trying to hold this one down. Does have nothing to work with. And doing damage with the P2K is all well and good. Might be able to get one, but no. FaceCrack only on 22 HP. Still picks the frag up. And now Spartak with 6 rounds to their name. So much money built up. And looking good.
Yeah, 6-2 as well, so strong performance from them so far. FaceCrack 12-2, and it is a similar situation where this might not be the best map for Little, at least over on that T side, but luckily for him, he's got 2 players in Kabakan and FaceCrack stepping up with 13 and 12 kills apiece. And only 5 deaths between them. We're going to see, again, a little bit of aggression over towards this B site. FaceCrack throwing out the initial Molotov. Takes a little bit of damage when he's hit by the smoke, but other than that, nothing being spotted as of yet. And the majority of these T players are heading over towards long, but it's a nice flash. Unfortunately, Smike only able to get a trade, and that still benefits this T side. Patience seems to be key at the moment for Spartak, as they just wait, still holding the bomb back, expecting some sort of force rotation, which is quite a good gamble, really, because knowing that the economy of the CT side can't be fully built up as of yet, the utility they have is going to be relatively low. They throw the steep smoke again to try and hold them off for a little longer, but that will fade around that 45-second mark, and that still leaves plenty of time for an execution. And look at prop play. How has this happened?
I mean, somehow he's been allowed to work himself all the way up into the back line and causing so many issues. They have to try and flush him out, and they will be able to. But it has caused the rotate from Crush, leaving all the pressure on Kenzel.
Switches to his knife.
He's going to fall. Yeah. In towards B. Now it's all on Def. 1 versus 2. Once again, trying to clutch this out. It always seems to be resting on his shoulders. Well, Pop Flash, get back and try to peek on that Def, just holding the angle. Gonna try and go for this. Does have the kit. Has a solitary flashbang as well, but Quebec can hold the angle. Goes for the spray. Does get taken out. Def only on 19 HP. FaceCrack just hiding. Biding his time. Pop Flash gonna be coming out. Hits with full effect. But he still has no invoice to where FaceCrack is. Does spot him out over on platform. Gonna look to try and go for this, and FaceCrack just playing this perfectly, biding his time, waiting over on platform, spotted out by Def, but he's running crucially low on ammo. Only 2 bullets left. Has to go for the reload. Only has 1 shot to make it count. And FaceCrack with a knife, no! Will be shut down. Def, not looking good for him. He'll die to the bomb in a fiery explosion. Pause called in, rightfully so, as the tactical is well and truly needed.
pro100 struggling to get anything done, and well, even with the kill coming in, killing every single player over on that T side, every single one of them has over $10,000 to rebuy, so not going to be struggling by any stretch. CTs, however, in a position where they can invest into some pistols, go down to around that 2,000 mark to make sure they get everything they need for the next. potentially a little bit more wanted onto Smike so he can make sure he gets the AWP, and they may even want to pull in the double. We saw it work very effectively on Mirage with Kenza picking up the second, and considering he's only on 1 kill, I think maybe a change might be worthwhile, especially considering on that B site, you can have that aggressive AWP look to try and pick up kills. So not going to be a huge amount of investment as of yet. Kenza picking up the P250, but you can see the majority of players actually over the 2,500, so keeping quite a lot of money in the bank ready for the next round. That's 2 rounds in a row. Oh, no. Oh, that must be painful. Timing just against Kenza at the moment.
There it is, Smike over along, the only player remaining over on A. Crush actually rotating around to try and help out. Smike going to find himself stuck between a rock and a hard place over at long. Players coming in from all sides. Flaric going to fall over at B as well. So this round just crumbling down around Prosto. Smike going to find himself boxed on in, trying to find somewhere to retreat back to for safety. Will be shot down by Proplet. And now just Crush and Def still alive. Both of these players trapped on ramp, but this is just a slaughterhouse position. Def does find one. Has the AK. But then will be shut down by little. Spartak, they're going to find themselves 8-2. A huge advantage in their favor thus far. Still plenty of cash built up. Post they're going to be buying on down. Double AWP set up in place. Something that you said you would like to see. You know, one of the AWPs over there towards platform. But still, I mean, if they lose this, their economy's bottomed out once again. So this round is crucial. They really have to put a stop to this madness.
Yeah, and this is, not forgetting, it's called a decider match, but it's also elimination for one of these teams. So, Pro getting so close. They've got a long way to go. I do think it's definitely possible for them to pull things back on the T side, but they need to give themselves half a chance at least. Now, they have set the AWP up. It's over towards the chicken coop this time, but they've completely misread this. Smike's gone rotating in. Luckily, I think he'll be back in time to deny any sort of early pushes, but they're going to be all the way up the ramp by the time anything is realized by these CT-sided players. Smoke's already falling. Smike has to hit a shot, and he doesn't. He goes down instantly, and the same can be said for Def. Players falling left, right, and center, and not forgetting there's still a lurk in the form of Kabakin, who can just make things ever worse as they tried to save Crush. He's heard his opponent, or maybe he hasn't, still gets away with at least one. But a 9th round, well, it's almost certain at this point. Face crack, as his name suggests. Leaves just Kenza trying his best to save this AWP. Had no impact in this round. Not really his fault. He was playing over towards the B site, ready to hold off any attack that came in that direction. Unfortunately, the A site fell before anything could be done.
Yeah, Spartak, they're not going to go too aggressive. They've been working hard to build up a bank, and a couple of players still aren't looking too great. I mean, Propler really the only one who caused anything into question, but they're not going to go work too hard to liberate this AWP from the hands of Kenza. I mean, him having it doesn't really add too much into the buy potential for Prosto in this round. Looks like they are going to go ahead and buy on down. It does allow them to have the AWP in play, I suppose, as the silver lining. I mean, they would have still been able to buy up regardless. But the buy is made that much stronger with the AWP in hand. Curious as to see why the Mag 7 was picked up instead of Kenza actually dropping across to Def. You could have seen him on something a little bit more viable, but still, I mean, the Mag 7 has seen some frequent use. Molotov down at long, but it's going to miss its mark, and it's going to not do a good job at delaying these guys. The push coming in almost immediately. The Mag 7 can deal damage up close. Are they going to fall prey to it, though? He's allowed to fall back from long. As the smoke does go down, Crush rotating in to try and help out. 4 players right now for Spartak over here towards the A-bomb site.
Yeah, they need to get close. Both players with short-range weaponry. Hens are going to be rotating in with a rifle to help, but again, it seems like they may have just been baited a little bit. The bomb yet to go over towards B, so not dedicated as of yet. They've set the turret of Smike up to try and deter anybody pushing in this direction. And just look, push, caught out Not really sure what they were hoping for. They're hoping that everybody had gone towards B. Instead, they've got it completely wrong, and Def is going to be caught in no man's land. Absolutely no idea the players have crossed. Now, will Little be aware of this position? No, he won't. The shot's not going to be hit properly. We will see one caught on the flank, but all of the players now behind the man in middle. Little will at least go down. There's something for them to celebrate, but through the door, Kabakin. Actually, no, it wasn't through the door. It was Kabakin coming out, but he still gets both kills either way. 10-2. Spike can still come in, sort of. It's sort of at the point where, okay, I can understand forcing, but you're just risking it for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, arguably at this point, you know, nothing's been working on these forces. I think for a lot of teams, they get into the mentality where it's just buy, and then try and hope, you know, luck goes your way. And it's, you know, it's almost a bit of a tilt mentality, because if we did just see them, you know, rounds ago even, just take one on the chin, go for the eco, then they could have fully invested. Don't get me wrong, they've got the AWP, they've got rifles, but they have nothing in terms of utility. They can't really delay these pushes for any more than a couple of seconds at the start of the round. So it's going to be a tricky one. 5 players for Spartak over here towards the B bomb site, loading all the regs into one basket. And while they're ready to push on, and that utility already fading away, Atlanta to make their way out towards Plat. Ken's able to find the first. No trade frag in sight just yet. And actually a bit of a lackluster usage of their own utility, allowing Ken to just keep picking players off from the pack. He's going to go ahead and get 3. And rounds that shouldn't work do work in CS, and rounds that should work don't. I don't fully understand it. Kabakin's going to find himself 1v5. The last man alive here for Spartak is going to be able to work himself into the back line, but Def finishes him off, and pro100 go ahead and get themselves a 3rd round. Maybe it was tactical. Maybe now they're going to win and reset their economy for the last round of the half. I don't know, Tom. But they had no utility that round. The buy wasn't that great, and somehow they still did it.
Yeah, just Counter-Strike things. Big plays coming out from Kenza. Finally wakes up onto the board. Obviously, there's loads of cash for Spartak to play with. They've won so many rounds in a row here. 7, in fact. Looking to continue that trend. Heading over towards this A site. Like, how many timing moments are we going to see? Molotov goes out as well. It will be Smike to get 1. Unable to trade that kill back at least. It is still going to be this 4 versus 4, and through they go in the smoke. Spike just trying to survive behind them, but he's not going to be able to do it. He may have just bought enough time, though, for the rotation to come in from his teammates. Crush pushing out with the UMP. Can't afford to take that repeat, but it's given Flaric a chance to get onto the site itself.
Yeah, and Flaric with the Baron. The stats between him and Success. Crushing the backline, dispatching these guys, and Flaric finishing it off. It will be around going the way of the CTs, and they are able to get 1 more on the board. 4-10. Out of the realms of economic reset. The buy can come in for Spartak. Prosto, of course, going to be able to buy down as you would expect. They've got everything they could possibly need. Utility across the board. And a 5-10 half, suddenly not that bad. Not that great, but not that bad either. Yeah. It could have been far worse.
I feel like that's been a story in a few of these rounds now. Little starting things off. He's been quiet over on this T side. Really the man to watch over on this map, at least. So far, it's been Face. Kabakin. Fairly quiet. Pro side. He's still waiting patiently. They've already got that first pick, so no reason to go for any further aggression. The secondary AWP of, I suppose the primary AWP, but the second AWP on Smike. He's going to be waiting over towards the A site alone. Crush, able to make a pretty quick rotation, and in fact, with these sort of situations, they are going to gamble a little bit. Flaric has got a lot to do. Finds the first, looking for a second as well, but can't. And that leaves this flank able to come in. Smike, a 1 and done. Crush left on the site. He's got to try and hold this off as long as possible. Death managed to retrieve the AWP. Crush is doing work. Can't quite hit the shot onto the second player. May it just be possible. Jerry's very low, but it is Little defending that bomb.
Yeah, it is all on Def once again. He's been the player who's to clutch time and time again for Prosto, and he's been the one who's come short in a lot of these clutches, but you can't really expect him. This time it's the 1v2. Looking to try and be the clutch king they deserve. Little on the site with the AWP. Will be heard by Def. He has a good idea as to where he is. Takes the peek on out. Little finds the shot, takes him down, lands that flick. And there's a reason his AWP says he is the king of such. It will be Spartak with 11. Prosto on 4, and the pistol round could very well decide the way this whole game goes. And ultimately, who makes it through to playing in the semi-finals tomorrow and who goes home?
Yeah, big push forward for them going into this one. Obviously, Vega looking to retain their title as the winner of the CIS Minor. The team in second are already out. It was, of course, Team Spirit. Third was actually the Lithuanians, so 1 remains, and then 4th was the team he's joined, Quantum. So we do actually have a few teams looking either to improve or to retain their title. These are the 2 teams that want to come and challenge them. Spartak and Pro. Pistol round. Crucial for the Ukrainian-Latvian mix. Little is going to spot out a lot of these players already. The rotation straight in from Facecrack. He's looking to do more. Finds the first. Trying to help out his teammate, but it's Little and Facecrack just doing everything, and they're cleaned up in seconds. They take 13 damage total in this pistol round. And they're looking to just dominate forward from here.
I mean, Spartak are looking phenomenal. And then on top of that, Prosto are just... They've fallen so incredibly silent. They didn't even look like the same team we saw a map ago. I mean, in that round there, point blank, sure the flash came through. Yeah, and a couple of them were... What's that? Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, I know. And it's actually an M4. It's not even like it was a cheap investment. He's gone all in. And while the fourth spy coming in from Prosto, as they want to try and hold on to this one. And 4 players over towards long to find the first. And yeah, Little still dies straight away. He goes down. The M4 going to be picked up now and into the arms of Flaric. Down goes Jerry as well. They say bomb site just crumbling around Spartak here. Kabakan in B all on his lonesome. 4 players are Prosto outside of the A bomb site, but the bomb looking like it's going to double on back.
Facecrack trying to find information out, but a little bit skeptical. Has players behind him as well. The unfortunate truth is now, almost the irony of it, is because a rifle was bought, or 2 in fact, they've both gone into the hands of the T's. Not the best case scenario, to say the least. A minute left on the clock, the T's playing patient. There's only going to be 2 players waiting for them, the other on the other side of the map. Kabakan nowhere near this fight. Facecrack trying to get as near to it as possible as he's got that UMP. Close range is the aim of the game. Teammate holding back with the FAMAS, so got a little bit more to play with. Crush looking to try and clear out this B site. Actually spotting that there's nobody there. The problem is there isn't really enough time to actually rotate now, but he can go on a flank. However, the CT side should know this, and they do. ProPlay watching. Still going to come down to the timing of it, really, as 20 seconds loom and the push begins.
Yeah, on the site, able to get one. The trade does come in. Facecrack doing damage over mid. The FAMAS picked up. The rotate coming in from Kabak, and Facecrack just has to try and stay alive. They could still make this work. Def is only on 3 HP. Flaric's going to go down, so into the 2-on-2 we go. They don't know where Crush is, but they have a good idea that he's got to be in the site somewhere. Over towards under balcony where he currently resides. Def on the site on a measly 3 HP. They don't have a nade to flush him out. They will be taking the route round over towards balcony to clear that out first. More than aware that someone could have been at that B bomb site. And well, they have to be fast. They have got the kit on Kabakan. They spot out Kabakan over towards balcony. Crush takes the peek. Now it's all on Facecrack, who's going to have his face impaled. Prosto go ahead and take one straight back against all odds. It was almost the clutch of dreams for Spartak, but they do go ahead and give that one up. So looking like they will be force spying down in this one to try and steal one back. And if they do, then they will be back in that driving seat once more. I don't imagine they can, though. When you look at what they're able to say, Prosto get 2 rifles out of that round, which is phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, I would love a stat of how many times that Spartak have won the pistol and lost the second round. Because it just seems ludicrous. I know I'm always talking about that pistol on Little, but the reason I'm talking about it is because they're always losing those rounds. This time he does invest into a rifle, but they still lose it anyway, so I'm wondering if they just have problems in these sort of conversions. I think Renegades are suffering from a similar thing at the moment where they can win pistols, but the second round is just something that eludes them every single time. Either way, force buy-in, mag 7 for face crack. In a decent position to do work with it, but he'll be caught with his back turn. Will be Kabakan spamming a few shots away, but he's unable to do anything from there.
Yeah, push going to continue in towards B. 4 players here for Prosto, and smoke goes down a block off the rotating through connector. Jerry going to be flashed back, and they take the peak. Timing couldn't be better. Kenzo to open things up. It's all on Kabakan within the site, who does find a tiny bit of damage, but that's going to be it. Little, the only man who remains, his trusty P250 in armor. Wishing he had that in that second round. Now trying to make his way towards the B-bomb site. Looking at potentially... No, never mind. Just going to fall. Def shuts him down. And that is Prosto now to find themselves a 6th. Start to make their way back into this.
Yeah, and the wonderful thing about that round from them is they've actually done it flawlessly. So not a single player lost. They're going to be making a decent amount of money. Still got the UMP in play to farm up some cash into the next round. The CTs are going to go flat eco. Absolutely nothing invested into this round. Likelihood is in the next they'll only have flat rifles anyway, unless Little manages to get a kill or two and goes for a glass cannon AWP. Other than that, going for the nice little sort of stand above everybody else's heads. I always like this, just playing the sort of little angles so that if somebody walks in, they're facing the same line of sight as 4 different players. It was VP who did this first, but I could be wrong. They may have stolen it from someone else. Fortunately, looks like most of these players are heading over towards the B site, at least for now, though Flaric looking tempted. Rotate back around. You can see through the wall this lovely little stack, although looks like Kabaka may be getting itchy feet.
Yeah, perhaps they're going to be pushing in towards the B-bomb site. Smokes and flashes rain on in. This fancy stack of USP is never going to come into fruition. Instead, it's all eyes on Propler to try and hold this back from a chicken coop, and he's going to fall. They do go and check that out, and now the 4 remaining USP players, I imagine, aren't going to be too keen to try and head back into this. They might try and find a gun on one of these, you know, retreating players from the B-bomb site, but overall, I think they don't want to fall prey to the SMG on Kenzo. They don't want to, or anyone for that matter, they don't really want to give any more money the way of Prosto in this round. So they are just going to opt to play things safe, not go down to any of these players. And that will be another round though for Prosto. 7-12, making this competitive and pulling it back.
Yeah, doing a decent job thus far, and well, definitely going to be helped by the 2 flawless rounds. Money shouldn't be a problem for them for a little while now. The other side of things, I said it was necessary to get a kill if they wanted an AWP, even glass cannon. Not going to be the case. Full investment, of course. Not a single kit for this CT side, and even in terms of nades, are a little bit limited, although Kabakan can get an incendiary, which over towards that B site will probably be where it's most useful. For now, at least, Little will be the solo A player. They're looking to hold on over towards that site, and while that may be the right decision, is look at Crush go.
Yeah, he's going to be just barreling out over towards platform, trying to open this one up. It will be fully flashed back, and while Propler had the opportunity to mop up some frags, it's going to be Kabakan instead to take it into his wing, gets himself 2, trades it back into the 3-on-3. And now the remaining players rotating in from the A-bomb site. Face crack, very worried that someone could be coming from behind. Not going to be the case, as everyone currently does reside within the B-bomb site. Boosting up on top of tree. Smite going to be the one to go up. They actually boost up Face crack to come in from behind. Flag dispatching of Little now leaves this on Jerry and Face crack. Bomb going to be going down any minute now. Face crack coming in from behind, they could wreak havoc, and Flaric's timing has to be impeccable. He can't fade away too early. He's going to go down. Bomb now dropped down in the open towards Tree. FaceCrack comes around and just mops up these players. It's all on Def. He does dispatch a FaceCrack, leaving this on Jerry. He spots him out. Damage being done. Has to reload. And it will be dropped. Prosto, they're going to be able to pick themselves up an 8th round. And now only 4 rounds behind.
Defiant. The CT side looking deflated, and in that round they were defeated. It's points all round for Def as he manages to win that one in a 1 versus 2. CT side investing a little bit into pistols. Not really too much in terms of utility. 1 solitary nade as well. 1 face crack. But they're just going to go running straight up. Now, we've seen this before where they haven't taken control of long. Because of that, these pistols have wreaked havoc. Not to be this time, though, as they clear it before any damage can really be done. They take some, at least to individual players, but not removing any of them from the round. Means it's still going to be a 5 versus 2. Pro play. Hello. Takes down 1. That may be all.
I mean, at this point for Spartak, it's really not looking good. Little and Jerry, 2 of the players that were the real driving forces in previous maps, being completely silent throughout this whole engagement. Instead, it's been Kabak and FaceCrack really to be the difference makers. FaceCrack in particular, currently 24-12. Highest fragger in the server by a significant margin. And, well, the double up set are going to be in play. Propler and Little this time, the 2 players going to be donning those AWPs over on the CT side. Prosto going to be sending 4 players over here towards long. Now splitting Flaric in through mid. Crush going to be holding B long, waiting to see if anyone peeks out from platform. Right now, Prosto are looking dominant on this T side.
5 rounds in a row. Only the pistol that has gone to Spartak in this situation, and it could have been the fact that to close it out if they could just convert those rounds. Jerry on the boost, peeks out. He's defeated very, very quickly. CT side now trying to work back into this one. Little with the AWP. Can he finally come alive? Yes, he can. Picks up 2, but Smike is there to trade. Your battle will continue. As Pro players picked 1 up, smack around the corner, will go down and leaves it onto Crush. Already got a kill for himself, trying to bait out the sound cues, but I'm not sure Pro players taken the bait at all. Going to be watching the bomb. Actually, Crush is going to be able to take it away. And looks to try and go towards his B site and goes for the no-scope. A little bit overzealous there. That's the chance that was needed, and Crush, confident play. Just closes out that round.
Yeah, I'd be calling a pause as well. I'd be reevaluating Propler's future on the roster. There'd be a lot of things going through my mind at this point. 10-12, that round slipping through their fingertips as Propler doesn't miss that shot. And that could have made all the difference. I mean, had they won it, it wouldn't have really affected the economy too much for Prosto, but it would have at least been another round on the board for Spartak and a chance for them to progress towards match point. Instead, it's going to be the 6th consecutive round for Prosto here on their T side. The unpause coming on in. Spartak going to be buying on down into this round. Looking like they're going to invest down to about 2,500. Players keeping up more. It's going to be Jerry and Little, presumably, so they can go for that double up setup once again. Mag 7 bought up on Kabak, and Prosto have everything they could possibly need to try and win this round out. And really, there should be no reason for them not to. I mean, even the force in terms of what we've seen from Force Spies previously, this is nothing in comparison. Just a mixture of pistols, hardly anything in the way of utility. The smoke and Molotov on FaceCrack can delay a push for quite some time, but it's only 1 player with that utility, so...
Pro looking set. Bring this one to an equal position after being so far down from the first half. 11-4 was the scoreline. Their opponents have managed just 1, and it's Flaric starting things off. First 2 into his hands. No real trade available in this sort of situation. There's only 1 man sitting on the A side whatsoever. Still going to be seeing the T side clear out positions over towards B. Still have to leave this defense split for the Russian side. And, well, really holding my hopes for this one. The Mag 7 on Quebec could make things a little bit interesting if they hit towards B. Plenty of highlight clips from this exact position with this exact weapon. Can he be one of them? Face crack in the meantime will be able to give him a little bit of a helping hand, but unfortunately he cannot connect the shots at all. Crush, well, crushing his dreams, and Smike finishes off pro player as well. 11-12. Comeback is on. Only one round the difference.
I mean, this is phenomenal stuff from Pro. This was a 4-12 scoreline at one point. Let's not forget that. It's now 11-12. They're one round away from equalizing this out. If they win this, they break the economy of Spartak, and they should be able to just fling themselves into the lead on the back of it. They've got so much money built up. Def and Crush both over $11,000 to their name, and while it is going to be the buy coming in from Spartak, you can see that the AWP up on little, but it still has yet to really accomplish very much. Looking like they're going to be making their way over towards B relatively quickly as they throw out the utility early on. Disallow the peeking out from platform, something that we have seen Spartak try and do a couple of times, and they're going to look to try and compete for drop down. No one actually playing this position as they opt to play things passively from connector. Face crack going to be kept at bay. Does do some damage out on a Kenzel. Face crack to find the first. Kenzel will go down. The trade comes in instantaneously from Def. Little now holding the angle as Def goes in, finds himself two. Kabakin's going to be there to trade things back. Into the 3-on-3 we go. Kabakin stepping up in a big way. Gets himself two within the site. Still alive and kicking. Jerry rotating around to try and help out best he can. The bomb bin dropped out in the open. Kabakin holding the angle, but Smike peeking it perfectly. Turns it into the one-on-one. Jerry on 16 AP. Flash comes out, goes to the spray, and Smike will smite him. 8-12-12 scoreline. The equalizer found, and Prosto do go ahead and win that one by the skin of their teeth.
I'd point out, every single buy round we've had for like the last few. Round 20, 1 versus 1. Won by the T's. Round 22, 1 versus 1. Won by the T's. Round 24, 1 versus 1. You're getting the trend now. It was won by the T's. And it's just been that pattern. Like, in these buy rounds, it's been very close. Spartak able to do damage, able to bring it into these 1 versus 1s or these clutch situations. But every single time, we're seeing the pros come out on top. Now, CT side, they're forcing the same mentality we saw on the other side. Same mentality that lost the half 11-4. Obviously, from the T side perspective, they want to do one better. Make sure they take this. They don't want to go into overtime. Don't want to give that chance to Spartak. We are sitting 12-12, however, so maybe just individual play, something to give them that bolster could keep Spartak in this game. But at the moment, the momentum has swung severely into the T's favor as they have 8 rounds in a row.
Yeah, Prosto looking to try and make their way out through mid. There is a player like a Dano Matrix who's going to be little waiting in the back line for these guys to go ahead and cross. They haven't bothered clearing it out. If they do so, it could be a free frag. I mean, Jerry isn't in the best spot to try and trade this out. Instead, they're just going to push on up with raw aggression. They have to watch out because he's coming in from behind. Into the smoke, it's going to be face crack as well. In it comes Little. Hasn't got much done yet. Just going to remain in his position of mystery because it's Jerry mopping these guys up within the site. And well, now it's Proplet and Little. 2v1. Crush coming in from B. Probably going to be waiting. They're in the bench, spotted out and taken down. Into the one-on-one we go. Little, someone who's been instrumental in the last couple of maps, falling quiet in this one. In the 1v1, the pressure is on. Bomb dropped out in the open. 15 seconds left. Does spot out Crush. Crush spots him as well, though. He's got to be careful here. Fake flash going to come out. The peek comes in, and Little goes down. Crush somehow makes it work. 1v2 gets the 3K. 13-12. What is the simulation we're living in, Tom?
Every buy they have is one player alive. This is ridiculous. 25, 24, 22, 20. I'm just in shock that this still carries on. Just Little. All he had to do was hit one bullet, and he can't do it. He's fallen. The mighty gone down. Currently sits at the bottom of the board for his team. You would have bet your house on him winning that in the previous couple of maps. And that's interesting for you, especially considering you got a new one, haven't you?
I do, Tom. But, yeah, not looking good here if you are a Spartak fan. They are going to be losing the man. Leon Kabakin goes down, and he's been an instrumental part of the team in this map in particular. Pop going to be next to full over here towards B. Just this B bomb site being opened up, and they haven't even bothered to head in yet. Face Crack, the only player still here. Trying to keep Prosto at bay. And, well, it's not going to pan out. He goes down as well. Suddenly, it's all on Little with that Famous trying to do what he can. And they're just going to look to save, but Flaric, the Dream Killer, does not let that happen. Little in the 1v5 with the Famous. Struggled in the 1v1 when, you know, Crash was on 20 HP, so... Yeah, sorry. So this one, not looking great for him. He's looking to try and save the Famous if they'll let him, and they're going to look to try and liberate it from him. And they will.
I think that Little is on full tilt, because in that round, the rest of his team at least kept some money, and he just full bought a FAMAS. Now, for the primary AWP of this team, that does seem like a pretty questionable decision to make when going into what the rest of your team will consider a buy round. Now, whether or not somebody else drops him, that's something different altogether. I wouldn't want to have him on anything other than the AWP, because he is so instrumental, but... It does seem like for a couple of other players, and yes, that was a voice crack, but for a couple of other players, this is a great map. For Little, it's been both times today where he's been poor. The only map he's been poor, and it's been this. And both times versus Pro. So, I don't know. They will actually drop him the AWP, which that frustrates me in a way, because it means that he forced in a FAMAS, someone who has pretty much made it clear from the way he plays that he doesn't even particularly like playing with a rifle. So that he forces a gun in the previous round and then drops a FAMAS for someone else in this round, basically just leaving them in the detrimental position. I think that's odd. I don't know if that was planned or just him on tilt.
And well, either way, we're going to be approaching the end of this best of three. Prosto, they're 2 rounds away from running it out. Spartak find themselves currently 4 away from that privilege, or 3 from securing overtime at the very least and reaching match point. Crush going to demand in the entry down. Def to find the first. Propler's going to be there, though, to equalize things back into a 4-4. The rotate's already going to be arriving with Def. There's no stopping him. He wants to try and shut this down. Smike finishing off Propler, forces him out with the Molotov. Jerry able to find one with that Famous. It's not looking good. It's a 1v3. It's all on Little with the AWP in hand. He's got to step up and try and prove himself to be this dominant AWPer that we know. And no, he's not going to do that. He's going to run for the hills instead. Look to hold on to the AWP into the next round. Prosto will be reaching match and series point. Spartak, they are so incredibly close to being eliminated here after some incredibly dominant performances today.
Yeah, this could be the second time today we see them. Well, it was a 12-3 before, but 11-4 this one, and throwing it away. And, well, 11 rounds came in for them in the previous round. We've seen 11 rounds in a row after the pistol was won by Spartak. And I can't emphasize that enough, really. Like, if they convert the next 2 rounds, they're on 13. And this could be a completely different scenario. Instead, the breakback comes in, and since then, it's been all pro. All the way through. 11 rounds. And it's not been just individuals either. It's been the whole team stepping up, having impact. And now they're 1 away from making it through to the semi-finals tomorrow, facing off against Vega. Previous champions of this very event.